And it is the highest tower in Istria, in this peninsula. And then I went to the priest of that church, Roman Catholic Church. I asked him, why would Venetians build such a high tower in the middle of nowhere? And he said, but nada, that was the first communication with Venice. And I said, yeah, right, like you can climb to the top of the tower to see the lights of Venice? And he said, yes, you can. The bottom part, and you have the upper part, and then finally the upper part with a stone that is keeping all this thing together. Cajun can be found in Italy, but they call them trulli. In Dalmatia, they call them bugne. We have a bauxite in our soil, and then to the left, right here, a small little cajun is right there. That's the one that I want you to see. That's how they are supposed to look. So it is also the town that is very famous for the galleries. I don't know how much, to have people in the city. And he opened up a tobacco factory. That tobacco factory that was opened in 1972, they had 300 employees, 291 were women, because they were the only one left in the city. And we still call them today tabacchine, which is a feminine from tobacco. And they were working in that tobacco factory. And from Virginia, we have a lot of Virginia tobacco here. And of course they produce not cigars, but cigarettes. And it's a big industry for this area.
And it's come out, and we're in this charming harbor.
For the little boat that are actually...
This is a batana. It's a traditional boat, and it's flat bottom because it's quite shallow around here. It's part of the Venetian Empire, and there's the clue, the Lion of St. Mark. Built in 1959.
Tell to everybody, you Turks stay outside, and we Venetians are inside. Venetians are much smarter than that. They were traders. They were always dealing with the Romans, with the Turks. So here, what they're trying to tell you, you Turks are welcome as we are, and the Venetian hand is on the opposite side. And that is really important.
Now we're inside that gate. On this side of the gate, you see a Venetian head. And there was an Ottoman head on the other side, which indicated that the Venetians were willing to trade with them. This is a city hall.
This little
Shield of St. George.
Today it's a St. Euphemia city. Before that it was a St. George. So that's why the St. George flag is right there, and the St. George shield style of that time.
15th
As I told you, do not
century.
expect something big. But the important part is the streets like that, where the street dei Fonticchi, which means fontic. Do you know what is fontic? It's a storage for wheat and corn. So actually right here they used to have that. Of course on the main square, what is important? Food. And that's why it's going to be on Piazza Grande. Now from here we're going to walk just a little bit through the tourist district, which means during the summer, once in August, everybody from 5 to 155 can come to the street to sell art.
Artists can come and display their wares here in the summer. There's all different kinds of art.
From the 16th century is a perfect example with the steps that are outside. So I'm going to sit outside here, and you're going to be on the window, and we're going to talk to each other all morning. And it's always like in the morning they do that right here. Chimneys. You can see the part where you have What did you say? What did you say? What did you say? But they were farmers, so they had to build openings for their barrels. So that's how they pulled the barrel inside. That's what I wanted to see. Now we can go back. Crossed hands, like this. One hand is with the sleeve on. These are the St. Franciscans. One hand without the sleeve is actually representing people. And they're always crossed together. I mean, it also looks like somebody wants to get out from the church.
Yeah.
But it's not, like, we want to get out. But no, this is actually just the symbol of the St. Franciscan order and the old St. Thomas Church that unfortunately is not in function anymore. Socialism. That is actually the fish factory. So that's the place where they deliver fish every morning. And then across the street they have a little preparation and they are made to be a king. Sorry.
So we're up on top of the hill and we can see this Venetian bell tower. Large Baroque church in the area.
Century, when the Christianity is still not allowed, he was born in Chalcedonia, the place close to Istanbul, to Constantinople, and she was born as a Christian. Since she was a Christian, she's going to be tortured upon the steering wheel that has blades all around. And then, when they tortured her enough, she's going to be thrown in an unknown amphitheater. Listen, this is a legend. An unknown amphitheater where all the lions are going to come towards her, but none of them will touch her flesh. Then the sunlight came upon her, she died, and all the Christians in the amphitheater knew that she was a saint. They're going to take her body and place her in a marble sarcophagus, 2 tons, 4,000 pounds heavy, and they're going to place her inside. So she fell off the boat in a marble sarcophagus, 2 tons, 4,000 pounds heavy. But she did not sink, she floated to the island of Rovinj.
Oh, wow.
Of course she did. And then all the big guys came down to drag her to the top of the hill. Nobody sees them.
A 14-year-old kid hauled her coffin up here. Was his name Arthur?
So every 16th of September, when actually she died, the sarcophagus of the Saint Euphemia, that is dating from the 4th century AD, is going to be open. And you have a huge line waiting in the line to see sarcophagus open. Is there a mummy inside? No, it's just a plastic doll, but the relics are inside. And a lot of especially Italians will come to see her because she's protector of women, children, and so on. So
These are tombs.
Outside. If you paid a little bit more, you're going to be able to be buried inside. If you didn't pay enough money, this place right down there below, this used to be a graveyard until the 19th century. Later on, they removed that graveyard. Today, it's a coffee shop and a place for the great weddings. So let's
Have your wedding on where it used to be a cemetery? I don't think so. It's a big, beautiful church.
Now that bell is the original bell from the 17th century from the tower. Now, all the bells were used during the time of Mussolini for cannons. This particular bell was cracked, and that's why he didn't use it, and that's why we have it in a church right now and today.
There's St. George.
Patron of the city, you can find the symbols of the St. George quite often. To the right from St. George, you have St. Marcus. You can see his book open, and then to the left, that's St. Rocco. You're able to see that the St. Rocco is pointing his left leg, and then by his right leg you have a dog. That's always a symbol of St. Rocco. If you have time in Venice, I really don't know how much time you have in Venice, but if you have any time like left, St. Mark's Square and all this, go to see Scuola di San Rocco, that is not so far away from the St. Mark's Square, where you're able to see that scuola, that like a little, it's not a school, it's a place.
This is supposedly the sarcophagus of St. Barbara that weighed so much that the 14-year-old moved up the hill. 2 tons.
Following the Venetian art, this is a painting where you're able to see on the top, you're able to see a small church for the St. George. Reminds you maybe of the St. Thomas Church, the St. Franciscan order that we saw, very typical for this area. Let's say, as ceiling of this altar, you're able to see that Saint Euphemia is reaching heaven.
This is Saint Nicola. Well, here's Mother Teresa. Well, here's Saint Rocco again, and you can tell he's pointing to his leg, and there's his dog. Here's a wall down here at the end of the peninsula for protection, and the people of Pula gave him this in honor of the shipbuilders. Not that it was ever meant to be defensive. They pulled it out of the sea. So here's the beach. It is really quite nice. This is more of a resort town. That's a fishing boat we saw this morning. They finished all their work. So we head back to Croatia. The rain has returned.